What up, what up, what up? We out here again in the All-Star Tower Defense. We're going to be soloing the Darkness Raid in this one. Now, listen, bro. I know I said in the last video, for the Darkness Raid, I'm not going to use Evil Shade. For the Path Raid, I'm not going to use the Path Final. Makes sense, right? Why would I use the units that you're trying to really kind of use those raids to grind for? If not, you're just obviously grinding materials. But for the path, you're only specifically using that raid to grind for the path final. So using the path final in that raid, it'd be inefficient, not logical for me to use the unit that you're trying to grind out in that raid to show you that it can be soloed, right? Makes no sense. So in light of that, okay, we've picked up Umbra, okay? Umbra is a gauntlet unit. It's 135 Gs just for Umbra, and it's a 7-star that you can get right now, bro. 135 G in gauntlet is not a lot at all. You can go check out my gauntlet video on my channel. I can promise you, you can get 135 G and way more if y'all go to my video and check it out, bro. Listen, the gauntlet loadout, when it comes to it, you're using this sort of loadout, right? You're using a boss killer, a clearer at the back, okay? Dr. Heart Mystical. You use a wax slow or a time stop or a slow and a, something that freezes or stuns. You give yourself more time, right? Obviously, Speedaholic Enchanted, just simply use a buff unit. And then, obviously, Killer S, if y'all don't have them, use an economy unit that just gives you money per wave, right? Essentially, you're going to want to go play Gauntlet. Get you 135G, bro. Pick up Umbra. She gives you the same benefit of a 20% attack bonus and 20% bonus to economy. It's pretty much the reason why Evil Shade is our GOAT in our actual, main build and loadout and whatnot. Umbra serves the same purpose, but hers is bleed. Not super crazy damage like Black Flames, but still efficient. But here's the loadout we're going to use to solo both the Darkness Raid and the Path Raid. Again, just swap out Gojo and Mochi for any corresponding time stop or any corresponding wax slow. Obviously, it's just Mr. Wax. If you don't got him, just use a straight slow, bro. It'll be fine. So let's go do this. Darkness Raid. Alright, alright. Now, this raid is very short when it comes to the lanes. They come from this point over here and this point over here, and they make a little short trek around this hill here. So, realistically, what I do to solo this raid is I build up in this area here where they all meet. And that being said, we're going to go ahead and put down Pizza and Idol, get an Idol to upgrade 2. And then we're going to put out the Fear and put him right here at wave 2. Just like so. Now we're going to go ahead and buff Idol and get an upgrade point in Idol. Okay. And then on wave 3, we're going to upgrade the Fear to his upgrade 3. Just like so. Put the rest of that in the Pizza. Now, if for whatever reason you missed a unit, don't worry about it. The Fear has enough range to cover back here, okay? So you're fine there. But you can control your units as needed. So as we're going right now, we're just kind of pushing Idol and Pizza Girl to their respective levels. Again, Pizza to upgrade 9 and Idol to 14. Okay. Now what we're going to do preemptively is actually at upgrade wave 6 or wave 6. We're going to upgrade the Fear and put him to AoE. Okay. That way we can actually focus on getting Pizza Girl and Idol to max for what we need them. So now Pizza Girl is 9 and now Idol is at 8. Cool. Honestly, bro, these raids are not that hard, but we're about to really get deep into it when it comes to those unit preset and unit specific raids. I will be bringing y'all those, every single one of them. Absolutely every single one of them. They're going to be the last of the lot that I bring. because I honestly I gotta focus and pay attention in them, more so than doing raids like these. But I will be bringing y'all step-by-step tutorials on how to beat those raids. Um, right now we're just gonna go ahead and upgrade Fear and put Umbra there. Okay. Now we're just gonna keep pumping Umbra. Now here's your benefit. If for some reason we get into it in this wave that says, oh, there's too many enemies out here, etc., we can always control the fear and go smack units, right? So let's go show y'all what that looks like now. We can come back here where they're all just kind of stacked up and just go, yep, yeet. Come over here for no reason. Use the ability, they mini nuke, you know what I mean? Come back up here, yeet. Come back over here, yeet. See what I'm saying? The fear is very good for just clearing up the wave and whatnot if you need to do so. Um, Buffed and unbuffed, to be honest, the fear is very good for that. Now, just mind yourself, if you do control an idol's not buffing, just auto-activate again, and then the buffs that go back out. But I mean, apart from that, you're really kind of, golden when it comes to all raids. It depends on if you, like I said, need to put out more fears, because he does have a lot of coverage, but sometimes the units can creep up on you a little bit faster. But at that point, you can just come over here and put you down your mochis, which is where we're going to put them now, and then upgrade them, the next wave. But as you see there, Mochi's kind of slowing Buddy down, and he's really not doing too much because of the fact that Mochi has slowed him down. But the wave is skipped, so now we can go ahead and upgrade the Mochis to the max, and now they'll start doing pretty decent damage to those enemies. But we're going to go ahead now and keep focusing on the Umbra. And then 139,000. Now, honestly, this is where you can stop upgrading Umbra. That next upgrade for 930k is a little bit steep. Granted, if you wanted to, honestly, if you wanted to, you could still get that upgrade. Okay? But for the sake of usability and ease of use, etc., we're not going to go after that 930 upgrade. We're solely just going to finish up our build as it is that you guys know. So we're going to go ahead now and put down our 4 Gojos. And again, if you wanted to, you could go upgrade and do that, but that's your choice. I am not. I honestly just don't need it. So even without having the fear's ability, all we got to do is come over here and smack these enemies. That's all we got to do, bro. Come over here, smack the enemies. Skip your wave. That's simple. We're going to go ahead and put down the rest of our fears. Try to get it kind of lined up here. And I don't know, man. Like I said, for me, I like having 8 of my main unit that just pretty much is doing not majority of the work, but most of the work the entire time. Like I said, I always have an 8 place unit out here. I like to place my 8 place unit. Granted, if Umbra was a little bit less cost, I wouldn't mind doing that upgrade. But even at that point, this upgrade is fine. Now, here's what I want to attest. You still have that free place mochi. Okay, you still have that free place mochi. If you needed to, for just safety issues and whatnot, you could put that mochi there, bro. Because again, that one loops there, this one loops about there. They're overlapping. So that's where your safety mochi would go. And as you see, max units reached. Okay. So there's truly nothing else that we had to do right now in regards to this raid. It's pretty much a done deal. We're just now waiting for the bosses per usual, bro. Now, here's what I do want you guys to know, okay? This atomic ability that you're seeing on Umbra right now, what it's going to do, it's if you got them enabled, it'll play as cutscene, right? But it'll deal Umbra's current damage to all enemies within her range, but it does not factor in the bleed. Okay, that's unfortunate. It does do all her damage, so 12.9 million, but it does not factor in the bleed. And this move also has a global cooldown of 300 seconds, just FYI. So it's only going to do 12.9 billion damage total to all enemies within her range. Again, it's equivalent to a mini nuke, and it doesn't factor in the bleed itself, unfortunately. Now, in regards to using an ability that factors in bleed, as we all know, the Fear Volt, his ability, that Sinbone that you guys saw, it does factor into bleed. And he does at that point 4.8 times his current damage, but a global cooldown of 480 seconds. So it's not a bad thing, Umbra and using her. Um, but don't rely on that ability to be like a boss nuke or nothing, because it's just not going to, bro. It's just not going to. You see what I'm saying? Um, but as we got our time stops chilling now, we've got everything lined up like we want it to be. So again, bosses 9.74 is what they come out as. We're over here now with this one boss. He's at 8.45 billion. Now, I am choosing to use Umbra, okay? I want y'all to understand something. I am choosing to use Umbra only because of the aspect that my entire loadout does not have a status effect. I could be using things like Joe Kid Von. I could use things like Ant King, Netro 7 Star. But the thing is, those units do not have an actual status effect. Yes, Joe Kid Von has status enchant rotation, but it's not an actual status effect, right? Like there's nothing that's actually a status, like a bleed, a burn, a black flame, a sunburn, a rupture. There's no actual statuses apart from my leader in this build. Now, that being said, you can most definitely run Joe Kid Von. You can most definitely run Ant King. You can most definitely run Netro 7 Star as your leaders and beat this raid as well. Same thing with the path. Okay, you most definitely can. I just like to kind of cover everything that I'm going to need, and having a status effect is what I was missing. Okay, so that's just me. But the fact of the matter is that you can solo this raid in multi raids just like any raid. Just know what your unit is doing and get the corresponding upgrades that you need to make them work. Okay. Again, I knew that we did not need the 900 something thousand upgrade for Umbra because of the fact that Umbra bleeds in general. All we had to do at that point is just allow the fear, his passive ability, giving everything 10% more additional damage in conjunction with Umbra's already existing bleed damage. Okay. And that's all we're doing. That's all we have to do. And as y'all see, it's just as efficient as using Evil Shade Final. It's as efficient as using the Path Final. It's as efficient as using any of those 7-star or boss killers or things like that, bro. Because it's the way that we've got our build set up. Again, the main focal point in our build is the fact that we've got Mochi, we've got Gojo, and we've got passives that make them either take more damage or things that do more damage to them. Obviously, your economy units coincide with that. That's why the specific numbers are always 9 and 14 for Idol and Pizza Girl. Past that, bro, it's really simple. And this is for any raid that you can put your specific units down into. Now, I've auto activated his ability, Sinbone. As you see, that bleed is probably his, and then the rest of it's going to be Umbra. We'll go ahead and use Umbra's ability as well, but like I said, it's not going to be a nuke or nothing. It'll just be that 12.9 flat damage. So boom, there you go. That's all it'll be. And again, that is a 300-second cooldown, and that does not factor in bleed at all. Um, But I mean, like I said, bro, as you see, this is the darkness raid. Pretty easy, pretty simple. And y'all definitely would want to farm this raid because once I get out of here, I'm going straight into the path raid. And that is the raid that we're going to be using Umbra in last. Once we are done with the path raid, at that point, we are solely going back to our main using Evil Shade Final. Okay? So, y'all get out here and farm this Darkness Raid, and y'all pick up Evil Shade Final. By the way, Speedaholic Enchanted comes from this raid as well. So, that's a plus if you guys are after her. But that being said, bro, I do appreciate y'all. Y'all have a great day. Peace, peace.